Alright my friends, welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew and I want to tell you guys a little story. So, it was November 2020, sitting here on the eve of Xbox Series X release, playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla on my Xbox One X, waiting for the delivery of my Xbox Series X. And yes, I did take the day off work to wait for that bad boy to get here so I could play Assassin's Creed Valhalla and all the other amazing games that we were going to be getting at 4K, 60 frames a second with no compromise and enhanced fidelity of visuals. Well, my friends, that day did come. I did, in fact, get my Xbox Series X the day of launch. I unboxed it. I hooked it up. I downloaded Assassin's Creed Valhalla and everything else that I had as quick as I could. And then I played those games. And I played them for over 100 hours on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And then the waiting began. We started waiting for games to come out because of the sickness. And it got to a point where we were getting a lot of cross-gen games and things were good. Things were looking good. We were getting our 4K. We were getting our 60 frames a second. And then it freaking happened. The return of 30 frames per second and sub 4K. We started getting blurry, fuzzy games again, my friends. And it was only a couple of years into the generation to where we started to feel like maybe we had been duped again. And this was supposed to be the one. This was supposed to be the generation of no compromise. Well, my friends, fast forward 3 years, almost 4 years into this. Today is 5/29/2024, almost 4 years after the release of those consoles. And here we are, my friends. I'm sitting here with a 4080 Super PC paired with a 7800X 3D, where I am finally getting my uncompromised 4K 60 FPS experience with ray tracing, with freaking better upscaling, with unimaginable quality of visuals. So, my friends, this has been an interesting, very interesting console generation for me. Had I not started this channel, I probably would have never switched to PC. I probably wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now, having a channel and needing the PC for the channel and stuff. But my friends, something has happened along the way. I've been able to fully experience these new games the way they're truly meant to be played. Higher than 30 frames per second, crystal clear 4K graphics, ray tracing, reflections on mirrors, having reflection, or not reflections, but ray trace shadows, ray trace global illumination, all of the things that we were supposed to get with this console generation. And yet we're finally, just barely finally got a game with FSR3 frame generation on the Xbox Series X. Now yes, that does show promise, my friends. That does show promise. And in no way am I making this video to say that the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X are not worth the money. They absolutely are. When you compare that to what I've spent for the PC platform and you look at what the Xbox and PlayStation 5 can do, I'm still amazed at just how good they actually are. But, my friends, since I've had a PC, I've been able to go back multiple generations and play multiple of my favorite games from those days, and to truly see them at the maximum settings with 4K native resolution running well over 100 plus frames a second. I look at that, and that kind of pushes me forward with the PC, because when I go back and I look at those games and I remember just how they were, some of them were barely holding together on the 360 or on the PlayStation 3, and yet here they are running perfectly on the PC, way high frame rate, beautiful freaking visuals that I didn't even know were possible back then. And I mean that, like, I mean that. You load in some of these games and you look at the quality of visuals, like having like the highest quality settings that you can get. You look back and then, like, if you set all the things to low and look at it, you're like, oh yeah, that's the 360 version. But then when you actually look at the way they look now with max settings, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know video games could look this good back then. And that's where I find myself now today when I turn on the PlayStation 5 or I turn on the Xbox Series X. It's easier with the Xbox Series X because when I buy an Xbox game, I get dual entitlement. Or, you know, some other games, you know, I'll buy for my daughter because she wants to play them on her Xbox, and I get dual entitlement. So I'll be able to, you know, play that game on the PC or play it on the Xbox. And you can see where the PC versions are starting to pull away from the console, you know, from the console experience, and that leaves me wondering, like, my gosh, man, what if I would have stayed with consoles? And I would have went through this whole console generation playing my games, you know, just being oblivious still and playing at 1080p and, you know, 30 frames a second, you know, playing these games. I mean, obviously they look pretty good and they definitely look better than what we were getting last generation. But say I went through this whole generation again, completely oblivious and not knowing what I know now when it comes to the PC platform, and I look back. And then say maybe a couple generations later, I jump in there and I buy a PC then, and I go back and I play these games, and I'm like, my gosh, it doesn't matter what generation you're in now or when you start PC gaming, you'll be able to go back and play those and see those games that you loved and that you wanted to play, and you love the experience. But I'm telling you, my friends, I know a lot of people, and I know we tell ourselves all the time that, man, frame rate doesn't matter, blah, 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 and this and that, and as long as it plays good. Guys, it matters. It really does matter. I'm not like 240 frames a second, whatever, but like 80, 90 frames a second, it matters. It absolutely matters. Playing a game at 4K resolution with maximum settings, yeah, it absolutely matters. It's the clarity is incredible. The depth of the image is incredible. It looks incredible, my friends. I mean, I'm starting to see games now that absolutely look incredible on PC, and then seeing them running on the PS5 or Series X, and I'm like, oh boy, that's not very good, man. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, dude, this is pretty painful to be. It is, man. It is pretty painful to watch some of this sometimes go down, and then to see games, you know, like Hellblade 2, man. I just beat that game at over 100 frames a second on the 3080 Super, and I'm looking at that, and I'm playing this game, and I'm like, gosh dang, this is so immersive. You know, it's just beautiful, and it's so smooth, and it just felt so incredible to play that I was like, gosh dang, I was blown away. Or when I go in and I look at games like Lords of the Fallen, or I look at games like RoboCop looking pristine on a 4080 Super with crystal clear graphics and frame rate that just is insane. I think back and I look at this, you know, racing games, man, like, oh my gosh, man, people complaining about Forza Motorsport, and I'm sitting here playing it at max settings with full ray tracing at like 80 frames a second, and I'm just like, gosh dang, this is incredible. It looks incredible. It feels incredible. You know, or Halo Infinite, playing Halo Infinite at well over 120 frames a second, at 4K resolution with everything maxed out. Like, it looks good on the Xbox Series X. Don't get me wrong. That game holds up very well on the Series X. Or Forza Horizon 5, my friends, 4K. Extreme settings, ray tracing, over 160 frames a second. Holy freaking gosh, that game looks incredible. Ghost of Tsushima, 4K, 160 frames a second using frame generation. DLSS quality mode. The difference between checkerbirds and DLSS is freaking incredible. DLSS looks insanely good on that game. Horizon Forbidden West, no more Buzz K. It looks incredible. When you look out across the distance and you see everything just nice and pixel perfect and a real denseness to the overall fog that just looks like blur on the PlayStation 5, and there's like a denseness and you can see the depth, and it's almost like you can feel the depth of freaking fog in Horizon Forbidden West. It is that good. Like, it is so incredible. When you look out there, when you're underwater and there's just no freaking blur, it looks incredible. Spider-Man swinging through the city at 160 frames a second, just beautiful, smooth gameplay. It's just like, wow, I can't believe how incredible this is. This is so smooth, I can literally see everything. All the detail of the game is right there when you're running at higher frame rates. It's incredible. Arc Ascended, I can actually play that game on a 4080 Super. Like, go figure, I can actually play it, and it feels smooth, and it looks incredible. You know, and that game's not even playable. Like, it's barely playable on Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. Like, you can barely play it. There's screen tearing, it looks like trash, it's all blurry. But then you look at it on the PC and you're like, wow, this is absolutely freaking incredible. Now, I say this and I come at you guys like this because we've been very, very loyal to the consoles for a long time. 38 years. Loyalty. Loyal. Buying the console every generation. Always there. Day one. Buying the console. Buying the games. Buying the first party stuff. Buying the freaking peripherals. Spending all that money. Cheering the freaking brand on. Telling everybody, yeah, man, you should get this. This is awesome. Being there. Standing strong. Holding the freaking line for the consoles. And that's fine. Like, yes, do that. That's incredible. Like, I still support PlayStation and Xbox. Absolutely. Now I can support them by buying their games on PC too, because they're both bringing their games to PC. I still support them. I still love them. I still will be there to cheer on Naughty Dog, to cheer on 343, to cheer on the Coalition, to cheer on freaking Insomniac or Sucker Punch or any of these developers that we love, that we've been there. Playground Games. Like, these guys are awesome. They make incredible games. Activision. Freaking Bethesda. You know, all of PlayStation Studios. Sony Santa Monica. I love these studios, man. I've been playing their games for 38 freaking years. I love these games. And now I get to experience them like never before. Like never before. Seriously. I love my console experience. I still have them. I still turn them on every once in a while. Like, I love the experience that the consoles have delivered for as long as I've played video games. But when I look at the future and I experience these games that I truly love, that I truly have spent so much time in, and I've been buying my collection on PC since I started PC gaming. I've got all my Assassin's Creed games. I've got all my freaking open world games already. I've been buying every single one of them and getting in there and like truly playing these games and like experiencing these masterpieces it's almost like playing them again for the first time. It's that good. I was so immersed in a Horizon Forbidden West this weekend after beating Hellblade 2. I was like, wow, this is freaking incredible. Like, this is so good. It's so fluid and it just feels so incredible to play. Like, you can get in there and like everything just, it really looks incredible. And after playing Hellblade 2 and then going back and playing through Horizon Forbidden West and looking at like the absolute detail of like those games are very good looking. And I know there's a lot of people out there right now trying to put them against each other, and to tell you the truth, guys, I think they both look incredible. And I think Guerrilla Games absolutely knocked that out of the park. They did a good job. It's a very good looking game. Hellblade 2, absolutely phenomenal. that freaking game hit me so hard. It was like, wow, what a freaking experience, man. I'm so glad to be alive in a day and age that I can play a crazy masterpiece like freaking Hellblade 2 and then jump right over and freaking just explore an amazing looking open world in Horizon Forbidden West or Ghost of Tsushima, or jump on freaking Assassin's Creed Odyssey, one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games to date, and just go on an Odyssey, starting over, fresh, brand new, freaking fresh experience at 80 frames a second at native 4K, just exploring. Like, it's incredible. This is so incredible, man. Like, I know that it's expensive. I know that it can seem expensive. Like, this PC here is over $3,000 with everything I got in this one. Well over $3,000, man, for a 4080 super build, or even a 7900 XT build. Yeah, like, this is incredible. Like, this really does. I really wish that this was my first experience with an NVIDIA build. I really wish that the 4080 Super was my first experience, because this is absolutely freaking phenomenal. The way this feels, the way this plays, the undeniable freaking delicious candy visuals that I get to see, and the butter smooth gameplay that follows that with the 7800X 3D. It's incredible, man. Like, I'm absolutely blown away every time I turn on one of these games and I see them for what they really are. I get to experience them with the ultimate best visuals available today, and with a high enough frame rate to where I can actually see those beautiful visuals. Because it's true, the higher the frame rate, the clearer the image quality looks. It just looks incredible. And I get it, man. Like, I get why people get all freaking PC nerded out and stuff. And, like, dude, it's just incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And I welcome everybody to come to PC and give this a try, man. Like, I know that there's a lot of nonsense out there, guys. Trust me, I fight it every single day. There's so much nonsense out there about you got to do this, and all the wives' tales, and just how uppity the PC crowd gets, and there's good reason for that, man. They've been doing this for a long time, but we're fresh, we're brand new, man. We get to experience all of that, and we've got probably some of the most optimized equipment in PC that there's ever been. Like, that there's ever been. Like, this stuff feels so plug and play, it's not even funny. It really does. And I get, like, their concern, like the older guys, I get their concern. You know, they've been through some tough times, man. They've been through some rough stuff. But most of the stuff that I've gotten from the freaking 3050 Ti laptop forward, it's literally been plug and play. Like, most of the stuff that was wrong was just me not knowing how to set up the NVIDIA GPUs and stuff. Or, you know, like cross-generation, you know, games being a little bit freaking weirded out and stuff. But most of the games I play now, they really don't feel that bad at launch. Like, I have zero... I'm perfectly fine with buying any of this stuff day one and just playing it. Like, it feels good. Like, it's fun to play. So, my friends, if you guys have any real questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. Dude, just send me a DM. I'll look into it. Like, if you guys are really considering, or really even thinking about it, trying to move over to PC, I'm here to help you guys. Like, I'm here to help you guys. I mean, let's put it this way. You don't need to rush out and buy a 4080 Super PC. You don't need that much power to absolutely be blown away. You don't. Like, you can get that with, like, 7800 XT level. You can be fully blown away with that level. And I'm talking frame rate and visuals. You could be fully blown away at that level. You know, so you don't necessarily have to go out and spend the most money on stuff, but you can be absolutely blown away with a 7800 XT, a 4070 Super, 4070 even, or even a 7900 GRE. Like, I feel like that is a very good place to start. Yes, all of those GPUs are the cost of an Xbox or a PlayStation 5. All of them. All of them are $500 or more. And they all absolutely destroy both of these consoles pretty easily. So yes, the other part that you would have to decide is the platform. Are you going Intel? Are you going, you know, last gen AMD? Are you going new gen AMD? yeah, those things are going to add a little bit of cost, and it's going to be worth it in the end. You're not going to have to pay to play online anymore. You're going to get much cheaper games. The whole world is going to open up to you, and you're going to feel like you were trapped in a box. But some people want to be trapped there, and that's fine. That's fine, man. If you're that person that just wants that console experience, do it. But if you're that console gamer that, like, honestly, guys, if you play a lot of single player games, go PC. Literally go PC. There's no reason for you to stay on consoles. If single player games are your jam and you're like into story games and open world games and all of that, absolutely go PC. Absolutely. If you like to play like Call of Duty, stuff like that usually runs pretty good on the consoles and looks pretty good, maybe there's not a reason for you to upgrade to a PC yet. There just isn't, dude. If like you just want to play with your friends and play Call of Duty at 120 frames a second or Fortnite or whatever, you don't necessarily need a PC for that, and you definitely don't need a super strong PC for that. Like, you could literally get in budget and probably do better than what the consoles are doing, or at least match them. So yeah, this isn't like the video to try to tell you to leave consoles for PC, but this is the video that tells you that, like, look guys, if you really do want that no compromise experience that we thought we were going to get with the consoles, guys, PC is the way, man. PC is definitely going to give you that, and it really is a lot more plug and play than it's ever been. NVIDIA, yes, do some research, learn how to set your card up. Obviously, it's freaking incredible once you do. But AMD, seriously, guys, give them a shot, dude. They are 100% worth your time, your effort, your money. And yes, you can get in there and you can set that up and have an amazing experience with an AMD GPU. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.